Welcome everybody to a New Friend Plus Game Pass Spotlight Review. This is a new segment of our channel where we'll be showcasing the best multiplayer and co-op games that Game Pass has to offer. Sometimes we'll just check a game out and sometimes we'll play through the whole thing, and if the game really stands out to us, we'll give them a full review. This is our first official review of some of these games, but we plan on making many more in the future. For our first review, we played Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Shredder's Revenge. We played through the entire story and looked into some of the extras of this game so that we could get as much info as we could. When deciding how we feel about multiplayer and co-op games, we have a pretty set list of things we like to look for. First of all, is it co-op or is it versus?
Can't tell which of us is evil. I know, we've both got beards.
Does it run well online? Do you have to jump through hoops or a lengthy tutorial to be able to play with your friends? And finally, does it feel good to play? We'll answer those questions and more in this review. This is a classic beat-em-up game developed by Tribute Games and was released on June 16th of this year. Game Pass sometimes serves up a great day one release, and this was one that I was ecstatic to play. After playing many Turtles games on the Nintendo growing up, I could easily see that this was a love letter to those classic arcade games but in a more modernized package. The game consisted of a story mode, collectibles that you can go back and find in each level, and the arcade mode. The arcade mode is the same as the story mode, but without the overworld cutscenes or progression save. This mode is to be played as if you were actually playing the game at a classic arcade machine. This game was tons of fun. We played the full story mode and collected some of the items along the way, and both enjoyed every minute of it. The game was easy to pick up and had no bugs along the way. We were able to join the same party before starting the story, so the entire game was able to be played in co-op. Not only can you play the whole game in co-op, but it can be played with up to 5 friends online or in couch co-op. We only had the opportunity to play with 3 people total, and it was already a bit harder to keep track of who was who on the screen, so I can only imagine how chaotic this game would be with 6 characters at once, but I have absolutely no problem with a game being ambitious enough to make this an option. Now, it's easy to say that this game looks and feels a bit dated, but that's obviously the point. This game has a lot of charm to it by keeping the old gameplay and art style, but also updating it. This game has a lot of fun characters, great music, and each character has a voice and taunts that can give you a little insight into their backstories without having to know anything about the Turtles lore prior to this game. We aren't the most savvy Ninja Turtle fans, but we both really enjoyed the villains and enemies that were brought into this game. Almost every enemy was unique and enjoyable. Almost. That being said, even if you don't like the enemies, it is always satisfying getting to murder them, because no matter how much you hold these turtles near and dear to your heart, they're straight up killers. We were using swords and a bow staff. You think these wacky nuclear turtles who are horny for cross-species relationships and love some wet sloppy za are hitting the foot soldiers with the broadside of the blade? Absolutely not. You can't see it, but we're dicing them up. You can even rack up combos by battering the deceased corpses of your fallen foes. One slight gripe we had was the controller mechanics. We ran into a few issues where something easy felt a bit more difficult than it needed to be, but most of that can probably be attributed to the older gameplay style. Another gripe could be the length of the game. Now, I wasn't expecting this to be a 10+ hour game, and I understand what a longer game would do to the arcade mode, but it definitely left me wanting more after only a 2.5 hour story. We even picked up most of the collectibles during our first playthrough, so the incentive to go back to the other levels was pretty low. The last gripe that we both agree on is these stupid robot enemies. They're pretty much the only enemy in the game that had no redeeming qualities.
Fuck you.
And there you have it. Those are our opinions of this Game Pass title, and we both came to the conclusion that this was an easy 8 out of 10 game for us. We greatly enjoyed this game and would be very interested in playing the Cowabunga Collection, if it ever makes its way to Game Pass. Although no such news has been shared yet, we can dream. As usual, please like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video and want to see any more similar content. You can find a list of all of our social medias in the description. And let us know if you've played this game and if you have any similar or differing opinions of your own. Or if you're on the fence of any other Game Pass multiplayer games, let us know what you're interested in, and it might be the next game covered on our channel. Thanks for watching.
The TMNT blimp following us.
see. No, right where I was. Risking it.